What in the hell is Harley Davidson up to now?
And welcome to yet another episode of Crown and Comments with your host and resident Goldwing guru, the one, the only, Cruiseman. Brought to you by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Videos.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Crown and Comments. This is August 2024. I am your host, I guess, Cruiseman. And some of you have probably been to Crown and Comments before. So for those of you that haven't, maybe this is your first time to tune into this show, you might say. Let me give you a little bit of background. First of all, what does the name mean, Crown and Comments? Well, I have my favorite adult beverage, Crown Royal, and you are invited to get your favorite beverage. Doesn't have to be an adult beverage, doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage, could be anything. And sit back and relax and enjoy the show. But I will warn you right up front, there will be a rant later, and I'll warn you again before, because this thing going on with Harley Davidson, I didn't start this. Okay, this was brought to me, my attention, so it's not like I went out seeking this kind of thing, but I feel like I need to comment on it because it does deal with motorcycles. We'll get into that later. So basically, I get together with everybody once a month, put a show like this on. Last month, I did it live, and I think most of you said you prefer the pre-recorded version like we're doing now. Now, I am doing this as a premiere, which means by the time you're seeing this, you should have a little chat window off to the side where you can chat, and I'll be watching this with you. So it's not like a live show, but it's we can all watch it together when it does come on YouTube. Usually I release these around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll get I'm sure you were notified of this before it came on. So thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't done so already, maybe you have. Most of you are probably already subscribers. Some of you are even members. I would invite you to click that little subscribe button down below. Don't forget the notification bell. Very important, because that way YouTube will let you know when we come out with new videos. Much appreciated. I've got my MacBook Pro with your comments. That's part of what the Crown and Comments talks about. It's me reading your comments from YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or emails you send me, and I respond. I pick out the ones that I think are the most relevant to the show, and we'll talk about those items. In the first section of the video, I'm going to talk about, I like to cover the just news of the day, news information, what's going on at Cruiseman's Garage, bring you up to date. And like I say, we're doing this as a premiere, what YouTube calls a premiere, as opposed to a live show. A live show is, as the name implies, it's live. This show, however, has been recorded and edited. I would like to welcome all of my YouTube members. For those of you that aren't familiar with how memberships work, it's an opportunity for you to further support the channel. You're already supporting the channel by watching the videos, by sharing them with your friends. Members pay a little bit per month, and we throw in a few little benefits for them. So they get early access to most of my videos for at least 24 hours before they're released to the general public, and those are ad-free. Now, that's if you're what we call a super supporter. We have 3 levels: a supporter, a super supporter, and a mega supporter. And all members get access to my behind-the-scenes videos, where I basically just show you how I do stuff around here. I'm going to be putting one out here in the next day or so, where I talk about getting my studio ready for this show and for some other stuff I'm going to be doing. So anyway, got my Crown, got my MacBook Pro. Let's get started. First of all, I want to update you on the Bohn Armor offer. For those of you that aren't familiar with Bohn Armor, they make this extremely lightweight, comfortable, cool AirTex armored shirts. They make a lot of gear. Don't get me wrong. That's not all they make. But they make armored garments that help keep you safer when you're riding. We're all about safety here at Cruiseman's Garage. So as my channel is getting closer to 65,000 subscribers, Bohn Armor reached out to me and said, we want to do something special for your viewers. And so what they've done is they've offered a $65 discount on any 2 or more armored products that you order. So if you place an order with Bohn Armor, any 2 or more armored products, when you go to checkout, make sure you put in Cruiseman 65 and you'll get a $65 off of that order total. Thank you, Bohn Armor, for supporting the YouTube channel, and they've been supporters for many years and great people. We even did a podcast with Ed and Kirsten from Bohn Armor. You can watch that. I'll put a link up in the description somewhere in this video that you can check that out. Okay, also, I want to mention, because some of you have asked me about it, this tire rebate from Bridgestone. It's a $60 rebate if you buy a set of Bridgestone tires for a Honda Goldwing. It's a good deal. I've done it before. I've used it. It takes a few weeks to get the rebate check, or I think maybe they send you a Visa card now. I'm not sure how it works now, but it's been a couple of years since I did it. But you can check that out through wingstuff.com. You can order new tires, have a set of extra tires on hand. And Wingstuff, any order over $89, you get free shipping. So when you buy a new set of tires, it's going to be more than $89, so you'll get free shipping. It's a great deal. Also, coming up, just next week, basically next week, I will be in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the Rendezvous 2024. Now, this is in conjunction with Eagle Wings. I don't know if you're familiar with Eagle Wings. I was not. I got a call a few weeks ago from my friends up at Showchrome or Big Bike Parts, and they asked me if I would go to this conference to sit in on their behalf and on my own behalf as Cruiseman's Garage to be at this Eagle Wings conference. I have known nothing more about it other than they have some rides scheduled. I will not be riding. I'll be flying in one day, flying out the next. But I will be at a roundtable discussion on the 29th, which I think is next Thursday, the 29th at 9 a.m. They're having a round table, and I will be one of the people participating. So if you have any questions about Showchrome products for your Goldwing, I'll do my best to answer those. Or if you have any questions about Cruiseman's Garage or the YouTube channel or my maintenance videos, I'll do my best to answer that. Now, speaking of maintenance videos, I don't want to dwell on this, but we do have a Labor Day sale going on starting right now. As you watch this video, you can save 20% on my maintenance videos. There's, I believe, 84 videos in the series now. I just added a new video this last week. And when you purchase my maintenance videos, any new videos that are added, you get automatically. You don't have to pay more to get the new videos. And if I update a video with new or updated information, that's just automatically added to the library. So you may want to check that out. I'll put a link in the description of this video, and that link will take you to the website where the discount is automatically applied. If you just go to my website and you click through and you want to order, you'll need to use the coupon code YouTube, and that will get you the 20% discount. And in addition to the 20% off, for just a very limited time, because I only have a few of them left, if you will email me after you've placed your order for the maintenance videos, you're going to get a free Maintain the Obsession t-shirt from me. But I'll need to know if you have a bagger model or a tour model, because it has the shadow wing on the front or the shadow bagger, depending on which model you ride. You want it to match what your bike is. So anyway, okay, so we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the 2025 Honda Goldwing. We're getting pretty close to the date when Honda normally announces this. So we're going to talk about the 2025 Goldwing. Might even talk about this S2000 Chinese knockoff touring bike. I keep getting questions about it from you guys, so That'll be when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Crown and Comments, August 2024. And let's talk a little bit about the 2025 Honda Goldwing. Lots of videos on YouTube about this topic, lots of fake clickbait AI generated videos about this topic. I saw one the other day, and the AI generated video actually had some of my footage of the review I just did of my 2024 Goldwing, as well as a review I did of an earlier Goldwing. They didn't steal it, but they used some of my footage in their AI generated video. You can always tell it's an AI generated video because when they get to the part of the video where the narrator is talking about CarPlay or Android Auto, it'll always say Apple CarPlay TM and Android Auto TM because the AI is so unintelligent, it doesn't know that TM stands for trademark. So it just uses the term TM. So that's how you know it's an AI generated video. Okay, are there going to be any changes to the 2025 Honda Goldwing? This is what's on everybody's mind. And honestly, I have no idea. I have no inside information with Honda. I do have pretty good sources, and I believe that once those sources have information, they would tell me. So make sure you stay subscribed to the channel because if I know something, I will tell you. And I guess the question is, what do you want to see on the 2025 Honda Goldwing? What features do you want now that you don't have? You know, mine personally, I want improved, upgraded Bluetooth. I still have trouble connecting the headset, my Sena headsets and Cardo. I have to turn them on and off a couple of times to get them to connect. I think that's a Bluetooth issue. I know a lot of people want to see additional colors. I would love to see them bring back the pearl yellow that they had from back in 2005. They may have had it in future years after that too. I don't know, 2005 might have been the last time, and that was an anniversary model. So it's possible. It's possible. The Honda might bring the yellow back for the anniversary edition. I don't know. A lot of you are asking for an updated dash or display. I think that would be a good thing. I think that TFT screen is wasted. It's wasted. The only time you really see any colors on it is if you're using Apple CarPlay or Google Maps or something like that. So it's a nice color screen. Why aren't they using it? Why didn't it change colors when you go from sport mode to econ or to tour mode? It should change colors. The graphics should be customizable. You should be able to have a compass. I'd like to see a little speedometer readout on that display like they have when you're in the navigation program. They've already got the nav built in, so it's running anyway, or it could be. And it could be feeding a little speed limit icon there on that digital dash. It's just a bunch of wasted space right now. So hopefully we'll get an update to that. I know a lot of people want better seat comfort. It's always it's just always something that people are asking for. They want a more comfortable seat, and it could be better, certainly. But one thing somebody mentioned the other day, and in fact, it might be in one of the comments on here, and that is an electronic parking brake. The parking brake on the 20 or the 6th generation Goldwing, I think, is really poorly conceived. It's very easy to forget you have it on. Yes, there is a light to remind you, so that they already have a switch on the kickstand that if the kickstand's down, you can't put the bike in gear. Why can't that same electronic switch work for the parking brake so that it would not allow you to put the bike in gear if you have the parking brake on? Just a thought. I don't think that would be that hard to do. There's some other things, but put in the comments. That's why we have a comment section on this video. Let me know in the comment section and in the chat, what features would you like to see on the 2025 Honda Goldwing? I don't think we're going to get any of them, but it doesn't hurt to ask. And if you don't say it with Honda, you're never going to get it. The only hope I have that there may be some changes, and it's a slim hope, is because I never would have believed they would have put on the larger trunk 3 years after the 2018 model came out, but they did. So Honda has surprised me in the past. So we'll see how it happens. I'll tell you what you're not going to probably see. You're not going to see any changes, major changes to the engine. You're not going to see a bigger engine with more horsepower or anything like that. And you're not going to see a touchscreen dash. We'll talk more about that later because I know that somebody asked about that in the comments. My bet is you might see an anniversary badge and you might see some different colors. But other than that, I don't know that we're going to see much on the 2025. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm open to anything. I'm easy. Okay, when we come back, has Harley lost its friggin' mind? What in the hell are they thinking? We'll talk about it when we come back.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Welcome back. Sorry for this brief interruption. You'll notice some things have changed. I no longer have my Crown Royal. I instead have a cup of water. And that's because it's actually the next day. This is a day after I recorded Crown and Comments. Now, I will get back to the comments, which were recorded yesterday, but I started thinking about this particular segment, and I wanted to make some changes. I wanted to make some new notes, make sure I am very careful about how I say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to give you a fair warning. I've already warned you at the beginning of this video that there is going to be a rant, and this is going to be the rant segment. So I have links in the description of this video where you can skip over the rant if you don't want to hear it. I don't want anybody coming to me in the comments or in the chat and saying, oh, I'm out of here, I'm going to unsubscribe because of what I say between now and the next segment, because you were warned. If you end up unsubscribing because of what I'm getting ready to talk about, then you're just looking for an excuse to unsubscribe. That's all there is to it. So everything I say on this channel is my opinion. Okay? That's what it's here for. That's what I'm here for, to give you my thoughts. Yes, it is a motorsports-oriented channel. This is not a political channel. As I've said in the past, it's hard to separate everything we do from these topics because now it has reached into our industry directly. We're going to talk about Harley Davidson and what the hell they were thinking when they made an obvious decision. I say they, I know the CEO made the obvious decision to go woke. Now, what does woke mean? Well, primarily it means he is a believer in the concept or the movement of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which all sound good, but it's just another name for communism. I mean, come on. It's just another name for equity. Means everybody. It's different than equality. I could talk for an hour and a half on this subject alone, but I have to be very careful what I say on this channel. I don't want to get demonetized, so I have to choose my words very carefully. It's not like we live in a free country with free speech anymore. Let's talk about Harley Davidson and this, excuse me, this CEO's decision to go woke. You saw how this worked out for Bud Light. You saw how it worked out for Disney. You saw how it worked out. Well, now it's working out that way for Harley. And it's been all over YouTube, all over the internet. Harley owners are really pissed off about this.
You got to know who your customers are, and you got to appeal to them. You want to give money away, you want to give hundreds of millions of dollars away to, I don't know, any of these woke groups. It's probably not what your customers are going to agree with. If you want to give money away, give it to Tunnel of Towers or the Wounded Warrior program. Is almost nobody is going to argue with that.
But he's come out publicly many times talking about how they believe in diversity and they want inclusion and equity, and it's going to affect their hiring practices. It's going to affect what vendors they do business with. They're going to make sure their vendors are adhering to these policies too. This is the way it works. And this whole concept has infected many corporations. Because my first thought was, wow, if Harley Davidson stepped in it like this is a great opportunity for Indian, because they should be going after those Harley customers. But turns out Polaris and Indian went down the DEI path as well. And they may have reversed it. They say they're reversing it. We'll see. This gets back to what I've said in previous videos about people are getting dumber and that companies are run by stupid people. They don't care about the customer. They never consider how this is going to affect their business because they don't care. They just don't care about you. If you own a Harley Davidson motorcycle, you've spent a lot of money on a motorcycle. Harley doesn't care about you. Their CEO doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about what your beliefs are or what your morality is. He's going to do what he wants to do. And it's one thing to do this. It's one thing to have these policies at a corporation. It's another thing when they come out publicly and announce it. There's no reason to announce it. They could let everybody know in the background this is what we're doing, but no, they have to rub your nose in it. They have to make you like it. So I found this article on the CNN Business website. I Googled it. This is the first thing that came up. Because all of this started, I guess, a week or so ago. I guess I was out of the country and I missed this controversy. When I got back Sunday, some of the guys at breakfast were talking about the Harley woke thing, so I really hadn't heard much about it. So when I Googled it, I came up with this article on CNN Business, and the title of the article is very telling. Kind of shows the bias at CNN, which we all know exists. Harley Davidson is, and this is the title, Harley Davidson is dropping diversity initiatives after right-wing anti-DEI campaign. Now, the bias in that title implies that. It didn't come out and say it. But the implication is if you are anti-DEI, you're right-wing. If you are not in favor of DEI, and I'll explain it in a minute, then you're right-wing. Basically, that's kind of the implication. And of course, in CNN's definition, right-wing, you could carry that on to Hitler, Nazis, fascists. You know the words. You know how it goes. Anyway, so we go into the article and we start reading this. And I'm just reading right off of the CNN article. And this is a quote, "We are saddened by the negativity on social media over the last few weeks designed to divide the Harley-Davidson community." This is their narrative. They're supposed to be able to cram anything down your throat, and you just have to sit back and like it. And if you complain about it, you're the one that's dividing the Harley-Davidson community. Not what the CEO did. Not the things that the dealers that Harley is doing to completely decimate their dealer network. Nothing they're doing is dividing the Harley-Davidson community. They're completely blameless in this. But when you complain about it and you don't like what they're doing, you're divisive. Sound familiar? The company added that we have not operated a DEI function since April 2024, and we do not have a DEI function today. We do not have hiring quotas, and we no longer have supplier diversity spend goals. Now, the question, if you own a Harley Davidson, or if you're thinking about buying a Harley Davidson, is, do you believe these lying MFers? I don't, because I know what's in their heart. In their heart, this is what they believe. They may not have a written policy anymore, but I can guarantee you they are still engaging in these practices. So what does the DEI mean? It means we don't hire the most qualified person. We don't necessarily, we may, but we don't necessarily hire the most qualified person. He may get the job because of his race or his gender. In other words, they're going to weight things in favor of a certain gender or in favor of a certain race against white people, period, or Asian. And it's okay to do that. In their mind, that's not racist. Me talking about it could be considered racist. This is why I have to be very careful what I say. And then this article goes on. You can find the article. I'll put a link to it in the description of the video if you're interested. The company also suggested it would drop some sponsorships, including LGBTQ plus pride festivals, saying that the brand going forward would focus exclusively on growing the sport of motorcycling. Boy, now there's an odd concept. Why would Harley Davidson want to focus on growing the sport of motorcycling? Why not? Harley Davidson had previously been a longtime corporate member of the Wisconsin LBGT Chamber of Commerce. They have their own Chamber of Commerce? And they left the plus out. Bigots at CNN, in this article, they forgot to put the plus after the T. Now, I don't know what the plus is, and I don't want to know, probably, because once they got to T, I was out. But anyway, now there's a plus, and I don't know what the plus people are. Who are the plus people? The company also said it would end its relationship with Human Rights Campaign, a leading LGBTQ plus advocacy group. What do you guys think about this? Now, I'm specifically asking for those of you that own Harley Davidsons, but anybody can weigh in on this if you want to. So what is the DEI thing all about? Diversity. Okay, everybody says diversity is a good thing. Not sure I agree with that necessarily. Equity. Equity sounds like equality, but it's not. Equality means everybody has the same opportunity. Equity means everybody has the same outcome. Nobody really defines. They're very, very good at how they word things. They're very good. Basically, that would be if everybody has the same outcome, that's just a new name for communism. Everybody's equal, right? Take from the rich, give to the poor, except for the rich who are in charge. The elites will always have money. They will always live behind walls. They will always have security. They will always have private jets. They'll always have their gas-guzzling cars while they make you drive a $100,000 electric car. Okay, I told you I was going to rant. Well, that's part of my rant right there. Companies are run by stupid people. This CEO of Harley Davidson should resign immediately. If he doesn't resign, the board of directors should terminate him immediately, because I don't know if Harley Davidson is going to recover from this. They were already on life support. It's not like Harley Davidson was hitting it out of the park since the pandemic. They were struggling, and they've been struggling, and their dealers are really struggling because Harley loads them up with tons of inventory of bikes they can't sell. Now, if I'm wrong, tell me. If you're a Harley dealer or you know a Harley dealer and I'm just blowing smoke, this is just what I've heard. So this is hearsay. I'll admit it right up front. Anyway, these are just my opinions. My opinions. Okay. As motorcyclists, I think we tend to want to escape all of this political crap that's on TV all the time. And I don't think it's just motorcyclists. I think it's people in general. Every time you turn on the TV, I'm being lectured to about the environment or about DEI or about LGBTQ+, and it's in every television show. It's on every network. It has permeated. It's even in sports. And that's why I consume so much YouTube videos. I can watch a YouTube channel and escape from that. And I think many of you do the same thing. And that may be why some of you would be upset about this segment. But 98% of my content is non-issues like this. And by God, Harley did this. I didn't do it. I'm just talking about what Harley did. And so now I can't watch television anymore because it's in every TV show. There's a constant preaching or a constant, they're trying to message to me. And I can see it. I detect it. It can be very subtle. They're very good at what they do. You don't get this many people believing in bullshit without being good at messaging. They know what they're doing. They're very good at it. So we try to escape it by watching YouTube videos. We've been reduced to watching guys like me open little boxes and take out little parts of Chinese products. We have to, that's what we have to do now to escape this BS. We have to watch unboxing videos like I'm getting ready to do here a little bit later on. I've got several products I'm going to be doing unboxing videos. Boring? Hell yes, it's boring. Who wants to watch somebody take a product out of a box? But it's, at least I'm not preaching to you about diversity or about inclusion or any of the other things. At least you just can sit back with your Crown Royal or whatever your favorite beverage is and be, I don't even know if you call it entertainment, but you can watch something that's not preaching to you of how you should be living your life, making you feel guilty, making you feel like a bad person. I think I'm in the majority. I think the people on the other side of what I'm talking about, the people who would get offended about what I'm talking about right now, I think it's 20% of the population. Now, in the case of Harley Davidson, I think they disenfranchised 90% of their customers. Bud Light probably disenfranchised 70% of their customers with the Dylan Mulvaney thing. Disney probably 50 to 60% of their customers. When you put a fat guy with a beard in a dress dressed up like a princess at the Disney park to greet your 7-year-olds when they come into the park and they think I've got a problem? Okay, there it is. You wanted a rant, you got it. There's my rant for August 2024. God help me, I hope. Hope I don't get demonetized for this. Some of us just fight back a little bit, I guess. Okay. Now, let's get back to the regular show.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, welcome back to Crown and Comments, August 2024. I'm Cruiseman, and now it's time that you've all been waiting for, where I'm going to read some of the comments that you put on my YouTube videos. Sometimes they're from Instagram or Facebook, but usually they're on the YouTube videos. And the first comment comes from, sometimes I can't get these names right because people use weird names when they set up their YouTube channel. This one's, I'll just call him Wayne. This is from Wayne. And he said, and this is on the video I did where I did the review of my 2024 Honda Goldwing. If you want to see that video, I'll put a link up in the corner of this video and in the description because I think it's worth watching. Anyway, he says he's been trying to test ride DCT model, can't find a dealer who does test rides. There are dealers that will let you take test ride. I know that because I've done it. I know when I was looking to buy the bike up in Shawnee, Oklahoma, they let me take a test ride. I don't know where you live. I don't know the circumstances. I do know that it is an issue, and there are several people that have complained that they don't want to spend that kind of money on a motorcycle until they've had a chance to do a test ride. Don't blame you. I wouldn't either. I was lucky. I got to do a test ride. I don't know what to say other than I don't know how to help you with that. Look around some more. I know there are dealers that will let you do test rides. This is from Tim Barnett. Question: I use a clutch for riding, but how to use a clutch for riding when there isn't a clutch lever? So I guess he's asking about a DCT. This does take an adjustment because you don't have that friction zone action like you do with a standard transmission or manual transmission. Now, What you learn how to do is by using the throttle with the rear brake pedal, you can sort of scrub off enough of that throttle to simulate. It's not as good as I would agree, it's not as good as a friction zone with a clutch, but you can do it. And it takes a lot of practice. And I'm not that good at it. I'll admit right up front. It's not like I've spent hours practicing, because I don't want to wear out my brake pads practicing how to do it, because you do have to use a lot of brake to do it. Okay, good question, Tim. And if any of you have any suggestions on any of these comments I'm putting up here, please put it in the comments down below. It's okay to put it in the chat, but after this video is done and we're done for the night, the comments will live on forever on the video. So make sure you put it in the comments. The chat could go away and they'll never be able to see your response. This is on my video I did years ago about SiriusXM being a scam. I asked the question, is it a scam? Based on the fact that it's hard to cancel if you ever subscribe. This person, I don't know the name, said, "You hate technology, then delete your channel." Well, I don't hate technology. I sometimes struggle with technology. I don't have a problem with the XM radio technology. I have a problem with their business practices. Had nothing to do with the technology. I don't like the fact that when you subscribe to something online very easily, that you can't unsubscribe online very easily, that you have to call an 800 number and spend 45 minutes on the phone with some guy in Pakistan trying to upsell you more stuff instead of just canceling the service. That's what I had a problem with. Gold Rider 1, who is one of my YouTube members. Thank you, Gold Rider 1. That's Mac. Some of you have watched his channel. If you haven't, check it out. Great channel. Got some good stuff on there. This is on my trunk light installation that I just recently, in fact, I don't even know if it's online yet. This may only be for members right now, but it will, by the time you see this video, it will be on the channel. And he said, "Another great video, Cruiseman, far above my skill level, better yet, far above my work willingness level." Well, I've seen your videos. Your videos are better, getting better every week, and you're selling yourself a little short there, Mac. Again, if you haven't seen Gold Rider 1's channel, make sure you go check it out and subscribe to his channel too. He has the exact same bike I've got. We bought it on the same day. We met at Southern Power Sports there, Southern Honda in East Ridge, Tennessee. And he bought the exact same pearl white and black 2024 that I have. Okay, Timothy Burkett, this is on my review of the 2024. He said, more self-promotion and product review video than a comprehensive comparison of the 2018, wait a minute, I lost it, to the 2024. I learned nothing from this video. I saw no real comparison or anything that compared the 2 years at all. Essentially a misleading video and a waste of time. If you're going to talk about whether it's worth trading up, at least be specific. Otherwise, it's clickbait. I get accused of clickbait quite a bit, actually. I don't know, the thumbnail says it's a review of the 2024 Honda Goldwing, and I did review my 2024 Honda Goldwing, so I don't know how that's clickbait. But anyway, thank you for the question, nevertheless. Rinky Dinky says, what a name, what's the stereotype of a Goldwing rider? Very, very interesting question. I think the first thing that comes to mind is older. You probably have to be a little older to be able to afford a Goldwing. You don't see a lot of 20-year-olds driving Goldwings, even though Adden is in his 30s, so he rides a Goldwing. But there are exceptions, like everything in life. But I'd say the stereotypical Goldwing rider is older, a little more sophisticated, very safety conscious, would be a stereotypical thing. I think Goldwing riders tend to be a little bit less group oriented and a little more ride on their own or with their spouse. They don't ride in big groups like Harley guys do, or I don't know about BMW riders. They may be in the same camp. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? What do you think the stereotypical Goldwing rider is? Obviously, handsome, sexy. Is any of this ringing a bell? I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. Grumpy Old Man. I love that name. Said, just this past Sunday on my way. Oh, this is on the video I did about going through the intersection and the guy made a left turn in front of me. And if I had not put on the brakes, pretty aggressively, I should say. I was going about 40 miles an hour. If I had not aggressively put on the brakes, I didn't lock up the ABS or anything, but if I hadn't aggressively put on the brakes, I'd have hit that car. So some people made it sound different, but he said, just this past Sunday on my way home from morning service, I had a woman at a traffic light creep up on me to the point that she was less than 6 inches off my tour pack. I turned around, glared at her, threw my arm up and yelled, "Hey." She looked up from her phone and gave me the one finger salute. It's because she believes in DEI. She's part of the system. There's some nutty ass people out there. John Ryder says, this is on that same T-Bone video. I got a 2023. Should I be worried about recalls? No more than any. I think I replied to him and said, no more than any other motorcycle. You shouldn't be worried about a recall. No, I wouldn't be. I'm not. I've got a 2024. It's the same bike. I'm not worried about recalls. I've had recalls on every Goldwing I've ever owned. Some of them had to do with brakes, and they fix them. You know, they'll take care of it. So I wouldn't worry about it. Go enjoy your bike. Philip said, this is the T-Bone video, said, happens to me at least once a week. Honestly, wouldn't have even thought twice about that. Assume every car is going to, he said hot you. I think he meant hit you. Yep, I do the same thing. I assume when I get on that bike that everybody in a car is intentionally trying to kill me. They're out to get me. They're not, it's not like they're just not paying attention. They are aggressively trying to kill me. I kind of have that attitude in the back of my mind. Okay, now Winging It has a whole different perspective on that video. He said, I didn't see it as a close call at all. Happens all the time, all across the USA. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't mean it's right. We're killing one motorcyclist a day here in Texas. I know it's in Texas. It might be in Dallas-Fort Worth. But I know in Texas, we're killing one motorcyclist per day. David Sizemore goes even farther on that video. He says, clickbait, no T-bone happened, only a possible T-bone. Well, that was the point of the video. If a T-bone had happened, is he sorry that I didn't hit the car? And that's the subject of the video would, never mind. That's okay. Thank you, David, for the comment, but I think you missed the point of the video. Okay, Craig Rivas said, why can't, this is on my 2024 review, why can't they use an electric parking brake like most cars have? Good question. I agree. Now, I don't know how much weight or cost that would add to the bike, but I can't imagine it'd be that much given there's so many electronics on the bike already. Tiny TJ, I don't know these names. Okay, he said there's no reason Goldwing screen isn't touch and on par with the Indian screen. Well, there is a reason. The screen on the Honda Goldwing is much farther away from the rider than the Indian screen. It's very easy to reach the Indian Pursuit screen. That's the one I test rode. The Honda Goldwing screen, they'd have to completely redesign the dash, redesign everything to bring that. Honda's not going to invest that much money. And I don't know that there's that much value to a touch screen. I think there's a lot more they could do with the screen they have, even with the navigation system they have. I do like the idea of a joystick as opposed to the little pad they've got now. I really liked that joystick that Indian had on there. I thought it worked a little more elegantly. Okay, Go With The Flow said, could be wrong, but I thought I read Honda was looking to make significant changes for the 2025. Would you have waited? I guess he means would I have waited to get the 2025? But the crux of this comment is I read that Honda was looking to make significant changes. Don't believe anything you read. Nobody knows anything about the 2025 Honda Goldwing. Trust me. I don't care what people are writing. I don't care what they're saying in videos. It's all BS. Nobody knows anything right now. Okay, so whether or not it was a wise decision to get a 2024 over a 2025, I covered that in a previous Crown Comments. Jeffrey says, excellent script, excellent delivery, most professional, intelligent YouTuber out there. Now that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. Finally, somebody gets it. Oh, wait, that was from Ricky. No, I'm just kidding. It was Jeffrey, somebody. Somebody else out there sees the genius here. Okay, thank you, Jeffrey. He recommends going forward to cut 50 pounds of weight off of the Goldwing. Lighter weight materials. My God, it's already Tupperware. How much lighter can it be? I guess carbon fiber? That's too expensive. More clever engineering. I do agree with that. Okay, this is on the Crown Comments where I talked about the Chinese knockoff. Tim Barnett says, this 2000cc 8-cylinder Honda Goldwing Chinese copy is what I wanted to hear your take on. What do you think? Now that you're buying a new Goldwing, China can copy really well, even upgrading original items. Chinese even copying U.S. military plane like an SR-71, so they can copy even better. Wonder how this bike will perform and endure. Well, are you willing to take that chance? How much better than a Honda Goldwing can it be? And you're taking on a brand new model from a company that's just started making motorcycles that has no dealer network. I doubt that this bike will even be available in the United States. It probably maybe in Asia and Europe. I doubt that it'll ever come to the United States, or not anytime soon. You got to have a dealer network here. There's just a lot. I mean, they haven't even perfected the Goldwing yet, and they've been making it 50 years. So how are these guys going to come out with a competitor to a Goldwing and have it be perfect right out of the gate? I don't buy it. This is on the video I did talking about installing the GT Marvel trunk light. Imagine my surprise after watching your video and ordering a GT Marvel trunk light that I also need an $85 fuse block. Peter, I apologize. I should have mentioned that in the video, that you do have to have either the show chrome isolator fuse block or the Pathfinder LED. I think I showed hooking it up to one or the other. I think we hooked it up to a Gold Strike bar, but I did not emphasize that really is a requirement to install one of these, and it was just an oversight on my part. I apologize. Don Cruz, one of my other YouTube members and a local writer who's come to breakfast with us a couple of times, says, this is on my cleaning of the Senna Impulse helmet. He said, I might have missed this. You put that polish on the visor. Can you also use that on the windscreen on your bike? Or is there a better product? I have used the show polish from Aerolon on a windscreen in the past, like the Honda windscreen. I have not used it on the F4 Customs because the F4 Customs has a coating that's proprietary. Don't think it really needs the polish. It is a mild, very, very mild abrasive. So I have used it on the clear dash lens, though. I have used it with good results, pretty good results. On a Honda windscreen or a Tulsa or some other third-party brand show chrome, one of those that do not have a coating, you don't have to worry about damaging the coating. This polish is so mild, you're more likely to scratch the surface with the type of microfiber you use rather than the polish itself. You want to make sure you're using one of those microfibers that's specifically made for very fine surfaces, like that little tan one that I'm using in the video. Thank you, Don, for that question. Okay. Bob says was shopping between BMW and Goldwing, and he bought the Honda because I found your maintenance program. Hands down, the most well-done maintenance program I've ever seen. I'm assuming he's talking about my Honda Goldwing maintenance videos. True professional. Cheers. Thank you, Bob. Very nice comment, and I appreciate that very, very much. Middle Age Road Rage says, thanks for the info on the Bohn armor sale. It's a very nice discount they're doing, and like so many others, we love Wing Stuff. Well, Wing Stuff supports our channel, so does Bohn Armor, and so does Pathfinder LED, and many others. You know, Attraction Dynamics. They've all been very good to Cruiseman's Garage and this whole Honda Goldwing community. So that's my last comment for the night. For those of you that didn't quit and didn't unsubscribe already, maybe I'll get enough new subscribers to make up for the ones that cancel the subscription. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, thank you for joining me for this show, for this premiere. And I'll be back next month with another Crown and Comments. We may know more about the 2025 Goldwing by then. Don't know. I will tell you right now, I'm going to be doing a road trip, or I'm planning to do a road trip around the 1st of September. Robert White, many of you know Robert. You've been to his channel, Robert White Moto. He and I are going to be heading up to Colorado. And I will be motovlogging the whole way. And so will he, I'm sure. We'll be both motovlogging. Should be a fun ride. I don't know that I've ever been on a ride with another Goldwing rider. It's always just been me or Ricky and I on the bike. So this will be a first for me to ride with someone. So you have that to look forward to. I got a bunch of other videos coming out in the next several days, weeks. So thanks for joining me. Oh, and if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That is super important to help out the YouTube channel. Maybe I will get 65,000, maybe even 100,000 someday if I live long enough. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, remember what I always say, ride often, but ride safe.